Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Heavy Hitters. Today I'm sitting down with my boy. His name is Jay Williams. So you'll be discussing a little later on Tookie Williams. I'm not sure if you guys are related or not.
Just in cause.
Just a cuz. Just in case. So I just wanted to, so Jay and I were back at DVI together back in 86 or 87, I don't recall. Do you remember what year? 87? Somewhere around there. So back before they had a tower out on the fucking yard and when it was a Wild Wild West. So although he's from the valley, we ran in different cars. Sometimes sticking with your county is the best way to ride. And, if you're there for an in and out. Jay's got over 11 terms. 11 fucking terms, right?
Yeah.
Cheese and rice. 11 terms. Which also means a lot of time in the county jail. Now, Jay has been doing time since the 70s. I can't say that. I went in 84 and that was pretty much the start of my cha-cha, the beginning of my cha-cha, and hopefully the end of my cha-cha. So, but, what's the first year you went in?
1972 to 78.
Oh, you got a term back then?
Yeah.
So 72 to 78, back when prison was prison. I mean, you learned to fucking man the fuck up real quick, didn't you? You learned to fucking mind your own, fucking keep your eyes out of someone else's cell. You got, the shit that we take for granted on the streets, we think everyone should know. But you learned back then that this is real shit.
Yeah, they kept a high respect level.
You're going to have to raise your voice just a little back.
They kept a high respect level.
So, and this is back when the fellas still walked the line. NLR hadn't even hit the line yet at that point. You know what I mean? There was one controlling factor inside for us, and there was pretty much one controlling factor inside for them and one controlling factor inside for them. And if you know who I'm talking about, you'll figure it out soon enough. Things have definitely gotten different. I'm sure you've seen that as you would return 11 terms later. It's just not the same prison that we fucking originated in, you know? Back then, Tracy had a pool.
Pretty much.
Consistent drownings. Homeboy didn't know how to swim. So this isn't really an interview, although Jay is clean. Jay recently found out that he's suffering an ailment. You don't mind if I bring it up, right?
No, go ahead.
So Jay's been riddled with cancer in a lot of different areas, and living the lifestyle that we lead, it's already full of cancer, you know what I mean? But you found some freedom today, you told me when you got here that I found some relief in this or that, you know what I mean? And the program happened to have been one of the things that you had mentioned. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you're a fucking good dude. You've been a good dude since I met you. We never hung out in the beginning, and we don't really hang out now, just to keep it honest. But when we see each other, it's like a day hasn't passed. We're fucking as solid with each other as we can be. You know what I mean? So 72, cheese and rice. So you hit the county jail, you're just what, how old?
No, juvenile, 72.
Oh, you hit juvenile hall, where at?
Central. East Lake.
East Lake. So, and back then I'm sure everybody was like nice and friendly and you could eat whatever colored jello.
Yeah, you didn't want to reach over anybody's tray.
Right, that's for sure. For sure. What about smacking at the table? Was that allowed?
Yeah, there was a lot of rules, just little common courtesies. Things that
people don't take for common out here.
But there was no warning if someone violated that. There was just
backhand like a
stab in the arm or whatever. Or
that was a warning. Being stabbed in the arm was a
much,
warning.
Yeah, that was par.
I'm going to have to ask to speak up a little bit for the camera. I don't know really how it works. We're working on it. So,
right.
And I guess you're a shy guy. It's taken me a while to get you on the channel, You haven't really wanted to put your shit out there because it's not something we do. But if you know that you could better a kid's life today with the video that you're about to put out today, it makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's the reason why I'm doing it.
For sure.
The hopes that someone will hear it and maybe hear something that they relate to.
So now we're just a couple of old fucks. You know what I mean? Right? Fucking, we're just a couple of old fucks. No matter how much time we spend on the yard fucking buffing iron and drinking coffee and puff and buff and all that fun shit. Now we're just a couple of old fucks that people think we got no life's experience. But guess what? Tell them, boy. We got some life's experience, don't we?
We do.
You know? So 11 terms, that means you've been in prison at least 11 times.
Yeah, and youth authority terms also.
Youth authority terms involved. So, I mean, like, the behavior started when the behavior started back when you were a pup.
When I was a kid, I was very, very defiant. If anybody tried to tell me what to do, I just kind of shake my head at them like, all right then. And then I would do whatever I wanted to do. And that usually involved hurting people, getting loaded, stealing, lying, running, creating havoc with the cops. It was all fun and games. You know, there was nothing better than trouble.
It's all fun and games till somebody gets fucked over, huh?
Yeah, and I felt I had a right to do that. And at 12, I shot somebody and went away for 5 years. You know, and
care to elaborate a little on that?
I grew up in Northeast LA, kind of like playing cowboys and Indians, and you're the only Indian.
Right.
I was white, and I was in a brown neighborhood, and I was hated for being white, and I hated them right back. I remember at a very young age saying white power, and my friends saying brown power.
White powder.
White powder. As a 7-year-old kid, so the mentality came in probably for my environment, but I had choices, and I could have chose to do whatever I wanted to do.
But you wouldn't have known back then you had choices. Come on.
No, I just had to do what I was doing.
Give yourself a break, you know.
I had to do what I was doing to learn what I've learned, you know. And there was a lot of fear there. I saw, you know, murders growing up, and became afraid of that, and then became
afraid of becoming a victim, or
became afraid of the area getting shot. So then I got in my mind that, you know, if I could be the worst monster,
me too,
then I wouldn't have to be afraid. And I was a very little kid, and I had there was no role models other than convicts, and so I modeled myself after that lifestyle, and I was proud of that. I was proud of doing wrong.
The sense of belonging.
Yeah, and I got friends there that, you know, to this day that, I mean, these are the kind of friends that will lay their life on the line for you if it need be. They try to keep it like where it's all cool, but if it need be, there's a friend right there that's not even a blood relative that will stand up with you.
For sure.
And that kind of stuff doesn't come easy.
It's all
I kind of miss that stuff, you know. But I don't miss being locked up, you know.
For sure.
Not at all. So.
For sure. So, well, I want to bring this up because you say I don't miss being locked up, but like, I don't know about you, but for me, when I got out and I had free reign to do whatever the fuck I wanted, I was still locked up. Is that your experience?
Yeah, living still like that, yeah. Living the same rules and the same ways. And
you're like, nobody else is following these fucking rules?
No,
what's that?
And shocked that people wouldn't. Shocked that the world wasn't adapted to the world I came from, you know, which is a whole different world. I had no idea what I was doing, but I wouldn't have told you that. I just didn't know what I was doing, and I would just end up going back, and not even knowing, you know, if I could ever stay out, you know, so.
There's a big confusion factor in there for us convicts, you know what I mean? Like fucking, like I can speak for myself. When I got out here, I was not accustomed to how society acts. You know what I mean? And fucking we're accustomed to, you know, you're going to show me respect, or I'm going to fucking put some heat in you, or I'm going to put some hands on you, or whatever, you know, and we get out here and fucking people just have all these entitlement issues that just fuck us up, bro. And it feels like a setup, doesn't it? To some degree, you feel like you're alone, bro.
Yeah, you feel totally alone. I felt that. I had a lump of money come into my life when I was trying to stay out, and I had an apartment at the beach, nice cars, nice business, nice everything, and yet I would find myself, and I didn't even need to work. I had plenty of money where I didn't even have to. My biggest problem was what nightclub was I going to go to.
Sounds rough.
Yeah, and then there I find myself looking out the telescope at Terminal Island in San Pedro, where I lived, at the guys playing handball and feeling lonely, because I grew up in that system with those people, and they understand me and I understand them, but out here not so much, you know, until I came into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, and then I found understanding, and I also found guidance and help and ways to deal with being culture shocked in the supermarket, because I don't know what cereal to buy, because there's 2 million of them, and I'm not filling out
Choices.
a canteen list.
Choices, right?
Yeah.
Canteen list.
You know,
For all you that don't know, you know what I mean? You got first draw, second draw, third draw. Hopefully you make one of those, because if not, you're probably on lockdown. But you're right. We have choices, and we have a budget. We have a budget that we have to work with. For some people, it's $12 a month. For those that are fucking out of control doing whatever they're doing, and they still got people riding with them, they haven't been down for fucking calendars upon calendars. We have a budget, man. Bottom line is, right? You know,
Yeah.
mom gets
live
pretty
within your
fucking
means.
right. Live
But
within
it's
your
good, though.
means. But I mean, eventually, mom quit sending packages. Brother quit sending packages.
Yeah.
I was, I guess I'll say I was fortunate enough to not have that all from the gate. I didn't have all that, you know. And for those that do, God bless you, man. You know what I mean? Like, somebody cares about you a little bit more than they fucking cared about me at the time. And that was because I didn't care about myself at the time. I'm sure you could relate to that.
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
We just did whatever the fuck we wanted to do and didn't be damned the consequences, you know. So what's a couple of the prisons that you've been to?
Tracy,
DBI,
Old Folsom, when it
Old
was
Folsom.
a violator yard. Calipatria, level 4. Pelican Bay. Where else?
You were on the bay, which the 1 yard or the
1 yard.
the 1 yard?
Yeah.
So you were
So I
like
went
a
to-
supplier. Still fucked up weather, no matter how you look at it.
It's still like,
Horrible.
you're so far, you're not getting no visits. It's just fucked. And there's nothing happening up there because it's up
So after 11 terms, your visiting pretty much is fucking cut anyway, right?
there. Yeah, my first couple visits, I just walked out and told them, hey, how long did it take you to get here? And they said like 7 hours. And I said, well, if you haul ass, you'll get home in that amount of time. Because I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want anything from the outside influencing me to where I start thinking about going home or the possibility of that or my date. I didn't pay
Never
attention to
fucking calculate your date, bro.
no calendars, no clocks, none of that bullshit. Just cut it up with the homeboys, lift weights on the yard, you know, hit when people are hitting, you know.
Now, when you say hit, you mean dope, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Get high when everyone else is
Yeah,
getting
pretty
high.
much. You know, and Tracy was a real good place for that. It was also a real good place where the cops gave you respect, because if they didn't, there was going to be an answer to it.
Right, for sure.
You know, so
Tracy's
I
one of the
really-
old school
I like
prisons.
that, you know.
I love that prison, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, if you get to love somebody, a neighborhood, that was my neighborhood.
Yeah, that was it was good because we could survive in there without fear of the cops beating us
Just
up.
tearing our shit up
You know,
because,
being dicks.
you know what I mean? Like
Like the
it's
county
not that
jail
way.
cops.
Oh,
You
brutal,
know?
bro. The county jail cops are the fucking most, bro. I remember I was at Corcoran and a van had a correctional officer going one way, and I guess some of my people fucking had been upset by something that had happened, and as they were driving by, they shot into the van and fucking dumped on the driver. You know, that was Corcoran. And then, so like, whatever, they don't realize that whatever they're doing goes outside. It's a small world. You know what I mean? It's a small world, and fucking abracadabra will reach out and grab you. You know? It's a small world inside. People think they can do the behaviors that they're doing, fucking PC up and not get touched. Come on, bro.
One of these days. And at least, you know, even if not, you know, you got to live with yourself.
Right. The
Knowing
worst
that you
part
sold
about it is
out,
having to
you
live
know,
with yourself,
You
right?
sold out on something or somebody.
Sitting
Yeah.
in a cell worrying about what the fuck everyone else is thinking, you know what I mean? Like, horrible. bro.
Overdope, probably. You know. more than
Almost
likely,
always overdope.
You know.
Dope, women, guns. I mean, not guns, but like weapons, like fucking, you know, you hit fucking had this made. It was put over here, and the new homeboy knew that where the heat was, and all of a sudden the heat gets discovered.
Yeah.
It's always him, right?
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
you know, and it's a lot to come on camera and step out, because right now you're being seen by the entire world, dog. You're seen in every country in the world. Just I want you to know that in advance. So, so we have a story on Tookie Williams you were telling me about.
All right, so I did from 12 to 18, and I thought I was a little hard ass, you know. And
Right.
it's 1978, so I hit the LA County Jail 3 days after my 18th birthday. The reason being a room full of guns, and you know, a room full of guns.
What were we going to do with that
I
room
was
full of guns?
selling,
Whatever,
I was
right?
selling the guns where I grew up at, which was real easy to do because they liked guns where I grew up.
Right.
So I get caught. I go to county. I hit 34, 3600. It took us 2 days to get booked in, so we're exhausted. It's me, a black dude, and an essay, and they throw us in a cell, and it's all essays, Southsiders, top and bottom tier. And the last cell had a broken toilet, so they weren't having people sleep in it because the toilet didn't work.
Cell 13?
But they, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
The good luck cell.
Right.
So they throw us in there. We're exhausted. We go to sleep. I see knives on the floor and don't even realize what it is. I think it's just part of the busted up toilet. And there's about 7 pieces about this long. Steel stock, sharpened on both sides, about that long. Bone crushers, big ones. And I just went to sleep, and I woke up to the cops throwing me into the bars, talking about, you're going to Little Africa. I got a heart check in the first week.
Can you explain to them what a heart check is?
A bunch of Crips ran in the cell.
Ran a cell, or
They
is it-
ran in the cell that I was in.
Okay.
So I had to fight like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 guys. And then they ran out. And then they said, "You're all right. You can stay here."
Cut your ass handed.
I go. What? I was all fucking lumped up. You know, I don't even know if I contacted with anybody.
Right.
I couldn't see shit.
Which goes to
But
prove
I
if
was
you
trying,
stand up,
and I
right.
was standing up. So, and I'm not fucking Bruce Lee. You know, and I'm not an expert on prison or any of that.
You're
Not,
brand new
you
at
know,
this beginning of the game,
just
right?
something I experienced. So within the first week, the Bloods are upstairs and the Crips are downstairs. And the Crips, back then you could have bandanas. And usually those bandanas represented whatever gang you were in. So
Okay,
blue for
right.
Crips, red for Bloods. So the Bloods are having some words with the Crips, and they decide to light a blue bandana on fire and toss it off the tier. From the second tier to the first.
Disrespect.
So they said, let the gates be the bell. That means when the gates open up, everybody's fighting. So Tookie Williams was on that tier. His crimey Batman was there. And so Tookie and Batman both ran to the front of the tier. Batman ran up the tier, and he was as wide as the tier. So they only needed him up there. And
So he come down to cell 1
He's
and
laying,
he's coming
laying dudes out, working his way down toward the end of the tier, and he gets around the 7th or 8th cell, and he yells to his friend. He's already beaten. It's not even an effort with this guy. He's massive, and when he hits you, you're not getting up, obviously, because they were just still there. So
Right. Good night.
one guy he yells to Batman, "Get the gauge, cuz," and he's talking about a pipe that's about that fat and about this wide.
Get the what now?
The gauge,
Then get the
as
gauge.
in shotgun, but it's a pipe that's this long and it's about that wide, and they cut it out from between the bunks. So he throws this guy a pipe like he really needs that.
So from downstairs to upstairs,
So-
they toss the pipe up.
Yeah, so you're talking about 25 feet in the air, and then a distance between that guardrail on the first tier and the wall of about 15 feet. So a guy is stuck. He's pinned, and he's looking at Tookie, and Tookie's looking at him, and there are rails on the right, and he's got him dead to rights with that pipe. So he fakes left, and then
Not Tookie, but the other
on
guy.
The other guy. Fakes
Tookie's got the
left. Tookie's got the pipe. The guy fakes left to this side, ducks, and goes under this side. And then from real down low, I don't know how he got that close to the floor, but he made himself small. And then he sprung up and dove off the tier and balled up like this, and the back shoulder going this direction hit the wall that was 15 feet away. 20 feet.
It's
narrow.
not 15 feet. It's about 8 feet. But
no,
yeah,
it's more than
3,400.
that. Oh, it's 15 at least.
About all right, 12 to 15.
Okay, 12.
He's old.
Whatever. This guy dove like freaking Spider-Man. He hit the wall, straightened out, landed on his feet, running, ran all the way down to the.
Now he's downstairs on
downstairs
the Crip module.
in the Crip module, runs right by all the Crips, climbs upstairs, and goes in the cell. And didn't get his head bashed in with a pipe.
So
Like
Tookie's
his
standing there
friends.
holding a pipe, doing nothing. What's going on?
He's mopping people.
He's mopping people.
And people are just hiding in the cells, and it was just ugly.
A savage as a kid.
It was pretty impressive, actually. Pretty impressive.
Respect.
Yeah, so...
For those of you that don't know, Tookie was put down in San Quentin. He had written some children's books. He had tried to turn his life around, and society just wasn't having it at that point. He's also which is a big gang here in California. It's crazy to think they would even take. So the same thing happened to me many years later. They put me in a Crip module. Right?
What the hell?
No, for real. So that's like
the sheriff's love
punishment.
us.
The sheriff's, right. So generally when they put us in there, they anticipate us getting fucked up from the gate.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it depends on how you carry yourself, whether that's going to happen or not, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like if you carry yourself like a jackass and you want to hoorah, and, or if you carry yourself too soft, like I'm just here because. So either way, you're gonna tell with if you're right up front with convicts, you're like, hey man, they put me in here to fuck me for you to fuck me up. Then you usually get the respect. Well, what'd you do to them? Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you had done something to a sheriff that
Not really.
fucking pissed him off.
They found 7 knives in her cell.
Well, come on.
I don't know how they got
Where
there.
did those come from?
Exactly, dude.
I didn't even know that was a knife. This was my first trip.
Yeah, I was pretty green, man.
So, right? Green,
Yeah.
beautiful word.
And
So,
purple and blue.
black and blue.
Lumpy.
Fucking lumped. So, take a second, hit that light real quick just so we're good. I want to make sure that we have as much lighting as possible. All right, so now you can see Jay's beautiful face once again. So there's your Tookie Williams story. Like, did you spend any more time with them after that, or was that pretty much a wrap?
I stayed there 18 months.
You stayed in the Crip module for 18 months?
Yeah.
What's your fart box look like? Did it get ruined or what?
I had to have several surgeries.
Can you put an extra stitch in? I love it. I'm selling. So, 18 months for real in the Crip module?
And when I came out of there, I was a much different person than the guy that went in.
You were a Crip?
No, I wasn't a Crip, but I was going to make some steel as soon as I got to metal.
For sure.
Because I was not going to have any more beatdowns happening.
For sure. And I'm sure in 18 months you received a handful of fucking
Pretty much, yeah. The cops thought it was a great idea to send white guys. In fact, when they transferred me, they sent me into an all-black module, and I caught a case the first night.
Right. We don't need to go into the case, but
Well,
like I get it. Now I can
It's
figure
like,
out the
let's
case.
throw them in the black guys module. Ha 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 ha. And let's watch the, inmates.
Now you
be
probably
shot.
weren't even a racist when you went in there.
No.
Like you probably were just a normal kid, smoked weed, sold guns, had fun,
Skateboards.
fucking
Yeah,
skateboards.
didn't really hate nobody.
Hate, what was that, right?
Well,
I hate the police.
pretty much.
Right.
That was the first one I hated, the cops. And then, of course,
It grew
people of
from there.
different
Thinking.
races.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that came with being locked out, right?
Yeah.
So like it's divided like that in there. Like you can go in a non-racist and become out 100% racist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's designed
for
that.
sure.
You're a good man today. I know that to be fact. Like I don't bring anybody on this channel that I don't know their story. I don't know. Like it's not like we've hung out since 86, 87 when we were fucking on the same yard together. It's just fucking, I know his struggles because they've been mine, and today Jay isn't working with those struggles, we have lots more to come with Jay. I just want to sit down, throw a quick little, fucking touch to touch, let you know those someplace where he's been. Now we've both been incarcerated with several, what are they called? people of profile. You know, we got the fucking Menendez brothers.
High profile people.
Yeah, high profile people. OJ. So, you know, because I was out to court. 1750 was the spot back in the day. Now they got just as magical spots for us.
I'm sure they do.
You know, like they do, bro. To say you've been in 1750 back in the day meant that you were fucking about the business, and it's just not that way today. They have other places, you know, 34, 36, like you said, Charlie Abel Baker, fucking, you know what I mean? They're not the same, bro. They're not the same. Back then, you had to fucking, if you didn't have a pair, you better pick up a pair from the commissary on the way to where you were going, because fucking shit's about to get fucking real.
The feds investigated them because they were shipping out too many dead bodies per day.
For sure.
Nine went out in one day, and that got their attention, and the average was like 3 to 7 a day, depending on
from
how the
Men's
cops
Central
felt,
Jail.
and from it being done at the hands of the LA County Sheriffs with the big flashlights. And,
Right, the elevator ride.
Yeah, any excuse, and you're getting floored.
So I told a story about fucking, and I'm sure I was up there for when this happened, bro, but I'm sure you've heard it, fucking the John Wayne thing. Remember John Wayne on 9,000th floor?
Yeah, a guy looked at the picture.
No, he spit on it.
Spit.
Yeah, I was up there, bro. I was up there. Serious shit. I mean, I didn't get to see the whole scenario, but like I've seen enough to know what was playing out. A person of color had spitting on fucking the Duke, and it went all fucking bad from there. He didn't even make it to the elevator. I'm sure he was dead long before there, but they had beat that dude to fucking death, bro. You know, and they're trained that we're just fucking animals. We're just fucking animals, you know. There's more to come with Jay. We just wanted to sit down. We want to throw a little bullshit out there for you to let you know that, you know, the places we've been, the things we've seen, you can't unsee them. You just can't. And it's something that you either let fuck up your life permanently, which in the beginning we always do. You return 11 times after that, bro. 10 times after that. You let fucking whatever those behaviors you had learned fucking follow you to the streets, you know what I mean? And it took becoming an older man with fucking health issues and this and that to fucking go, you know what? This ain't worth it.
Yeah,
you know
pretty much, yeah.
This is not worth it. And hopefully some of you guys can bypass that. Hopefully some of you guys can hear our story and go fucking, fuck that.
Yeah.
Right? Because how many fuck that situations have we been in, bro? Scary as a motherfucker.
And it still wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. No, like, and then you get out and you tell these great war stories about fucking Los Angeles County fucking Men's Central Jail and fucking think it was all fucking grandiose or whatever the word is.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
It's a fucking nightmare. Sorry about the language.
No, it's good.
I remember watching fights in school, you know, when some guys get them up.
And you're like, yeah,
it was kind of cool,
go.
right? There was so much violence in that place, and it was imposed on a daily basis from the cops and from us.
This is how you will behave.
And this was what I saw every single day. So much of it that it just made me sick. You know, I don't know, a year and a half out, and like 5-6 days ago, I finally stopped having nightmares about prison.
Well, I've been out for a lot longer than that, bro, and the only fucking dreams that I have are still consist of prison. Just so
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
It just doesn't go away.
Whatever time they gave me, they fucking tripled it, you know what I mean? Because I do not have a dream about me being on the streets at all. It's always in there. If I'm walking the yard with my girl, I'm walking the yard with my girl, you know what I mean? You just complimented me on how beautiful the young lady that I'm kicking it with is.
Your life is good, dude.
My life is good, right, bro?
To see his life, so you know, for a guy like me that comes out and doesn't see nobody doing nothing but more drugs and more crime and going back, I see this person making a life, a good life that's worth living, and it's a remarkable life. It's something that can change other people just from seeing it, and that's powerful.
Respect, bro. I appreciate that. So we'll be getting back to you here in the next few. We're going to take a little coffee break, and hey, we appreciate you.